Hi everybody, Adam here. Welcome back to our Lego room. In today's video, we're taking a look at two awesome new instruction sets that I picked up from Brick Train Depot. Big fan of their work, always on the lookout for new instruction sets that they release. We've got a whole bunch of their locomotives, train cars, buildings that we have built over the years, and a lot more in the queue. Big fan of their work, and the two new train cars that we picked up look awesome. We've got the Metra Bud Cab Car and the Metra Bud Gallery Car. Both of these should go really well with the instructions that we picked up earlier this year for the Metra EMD F40PH. We are in progress on building that locomotive. We've got all the parts here and it is slowly coming together. So looking forward to having a couple of Metra train cars to pair up with it. So let's take a closer look at each of these train cars. Now, both of these train cars look really eye-catching to me. I think there's a lot of cool elements in each of them. In particular, really love the fact that we've got the double layer of windows here. Really cool element that looks like it is handled quite well in the build. Should make these train cars really eye-catching and visually distinct. Also really love the way the door fits into the train car here. Love the fact that we've got the lowered area there to fit that in and line up with the real world train car. I think that's another really cool element. And also just a big fan of the textured look that we've got along the top of the car, the sides here, and even along the bottom of each train car. Looks like there's lots of great greebling and details packed in there. Really nice to see. And I think that will make these train cars very unique and distinct as they're, running around our layout and in the collection in general. So really happy with the way these look. Now, worth noting, it looks like we're going to get some decals or decals, depending on how you like to say it. But if you look at the end cap of the cab car here, really cool. I expect that that is going to be coming from decal work. We've got the Metra text on the side here, a bit more text over here. So the decals usually arrive, sometimes it's 2 to 4 weeks for me being up here in Canada before they arrive, but I will keep a lookout for these and we will show them on the channel when we get them. But interested to see how those work and if they look as cool as they do here in the pictures that they have for the listings on the website and in the instructions. I expect they will. I've had really good luck with their decals in the past, so really excited to see how these turn out. I expect that, up front here, we're building one of each of these cars, but I expect that if everything works out and they look as great as I think they're going to turn out, that we will build at least one more of each to go with the Metra locomotive. I think that, having at least 4 cars being pulled by that locomotive would be really nice. And, I think that if we go down that road, we'll also look at purchasing additional decals for those train cars. It is worth noting, I've purchased the bricks for both of these models now from Bricklink. Both models come in around 2,400 parts. One is just slightly over 2,400 and the other is just slightly under 2,400 parts. So that translated into costing roughly $300 each on Bricklink when I ordered the parts. That's before shipping. Shipping always is kind of a bit more variable and gets added on after the fact, but $300 roughly for each of these models. Not too bad. They're quite sizable. With 2,400 parts, that's quite a few parts. So, happy with these. I think, looking forward to seeing as the parts come in and we start to assemble these, how they come together. But I think they're going to look pretty amazing. And, like I said, I think these are going to pair up really well with the Metra EMD F40 PH. Always nice when you can get a locomotive and a set of train cars that all pair up and go well together. So looking forward to seeing how that comes together, and looking forward to getting those running around the layout. A couple other details worth noting. The instructions for these train cars show you how to both use the magnetic couplers as well as the brick model railroader KD couplers. Big fan of the KD couplers. I think we will probably end up installing those on both of the train cars and the locomotive. We do have a number of the magnetic couplers as well in case we need to use them, but trying to integrate the KD couplers into as many of our locomotive train car combos as possible. So, really love the fact that they're including both of those in there. I do plan on using the roller bearing wheel sets for these train cars. Probably need to be looking at purchasing some more of those. I gotta look again and see how many we have, but it's one of those things that super useful. Love having them on the train cars. Things run so much more smoothly, and it reduces the friction. Basically, it makes it so much smoother and easier to pull the train cars around, especially as you start to add more train cars onto a train. So definitely something that we will continue to use there. Also worth noting, I think I missed this at the beginning of the video, but both of these great train car models were designed and the instructions created by BK Bricks. Awesome work by BK Bricks. I think these train cars look great. And while I have not built these train cars yet, my experience with Brick Train Depot builds in the past has been that their instruction sets are excellent. They always do an amazing job making everything really clear, easy to follow, which I appreciate. You not only want to end up with a really great looking finished build in the end, but you want to have a good time putting the models together as well. So, really appreciate the work they put into making their instruction sets so easy to follow. With each of the instruction sets, there was also a parts list. I used that on Bricklink for ordering the parts for each of these. Again, pretty easy to follow and use, which I appreciate. So, just a lot of different little side portions that go into the overall experience, and really appreciate the attention to detail they put into that. Now, if you have not subscribed to the channel, highly recommend that you do so you don't miss out on any of our upcoming videos. We will post videos as we build these models when we've got them running around the layout. And we've got a ton of other great content that's continuing to go out on a daily basis on the channel as well. So lots of exciting stuff planned, both in terms of projects around our Lego room and our layouts here in the Lego room, as well as out at shows over the coming months. So definitely don't want to miss out on that. So hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. And if you have not checked out the Brick Train Depot website, highly recommend that you do. even if you have, highly recommend checking out these new instruction sets. They've got a ton of great instruction sets on their site for both buildings, locomotives, train cars, maintenance vehicles that you would see around a railroad. Lots and lots of great instruction sets available. And, like I said, we have got a ton of their instruction sets. We're continuing to build out our ever growing sort of collection of their models and been super impressed and happy with the ones that we've built so far and looking forward to building these new ones. Well, I think that pretty much wraps things up here. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you guys again soon. Take care. Bye.